Ahoy! My name is Melany. Earlier this year, I took a look at every single previous Jackbox game to rank and review them. Well, imagine my pure joy to discover 4 days after I released my video that Jackbox announced a new game. I totally wasn't immensely frustrated in the slightest. Jokes aside, back in April, Jackbox Games announced their newest pack titled the Jackbox Naughty Pack. I was intrigued. Previous Jackbox games could be a bit raunchy, but that was mostly just from how your group of friends could respond to certain questions. This, however, Jackbox wanted to go all in on an adults-only Jackbox game. The idea for this was definitely limited. If you wanted to make the most out of the 18+ theme, you definitely want to stick to games that make sense in an adults-only setting. Additionally, this game was just inherently not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Whether you're just too young to play this, or you're just not the type of person to enjoy raunchy games with sexual humor. So, coming off of what I'm pretty sure is safe to call the failure of Jackbox 10, it's an interesting move to go for. Not to mention, they announced later on that there would only be 3 games in this pack instead of the usual 5, which I suppose makes sense? How many games can you really make with the central theme of being adults only? Well, the game released earlier this month, I bought it at launch, I got some friends together, and wow, this pack is quite interesting. And right now, as of writing this video, this game is standing at mostly negative reception on Steam. Not even my least favorite packs from the earlier ranking hit that low. That's embarrassing. Well, let's go ahead and start covering these games one by one. As we go through these 3 games, I'm going to be adding these games to the Jackbox ranking list I made in the Jackbox ranking video. In addition, just as a point of clarification, I do want to state this. These are all subjective opinions. Don't just take my word or my personal placement in the ranking as gospel. I feel this normally goes without saying, but with this game specifically, I need to state this extra hard. Myself and most of the people I played this game with aren't typically the type of people to find this type of humor particularly appealing. Beyond a few simple sex jokes here or there, I'm not very raunchy with my comedy tastes, and neither are most of the friends I chose to play with. All of this to say, if I personally disliked a game, but it sounds appealing to you personally, there's nothing wrong with that. This is just my silly personal opinion, and I'm glad you can get something out of these games that I can't. Anyways, without further ado, let's jump into the first game of the pack. Get used to these raunchy titles because they're just going to keep coming. Fakin' It All Night Long is a sequel to the original Fakin' It. If you remember that game, you know that Fakin' It, while being a cute and fun social deduction game, is a game that many rarely play due to it being incredibly hard to pull off playing over Discord or something like that. Well, All Night Long fixes this with an actual option to play over Discord, with the game being catered as such. In this game, everyone is asked a question or given a prompt. For this game specifically, the questions and prompts are much more on the edgy and raunchy side. Anyways, one player is the faker. The faker isn't given any prompt and they have to blindly answer. Afterwards, everyone's answers, including the faker, are thrown on screen. Then, all players have to discuss amongst themselves and figure out who the faker is. If 3 people successfully vote on the faker loses. If anyone else or no one gets 3 votes, then the faker gets away. Well, let's start with what I liked about this game. I like how this game functions. Like, no, that's not a backhanded insult. The fact that they got Fakin' It to work well in a virtual environment is impressive as hell. It's conceptually really fun. The prompts are really creative and unique in terms of how they go about pulling off the concepts. I'm not terribly huge on the ultra-sexualized theming, but it's charming at the very least. My issue is honestly just the prompt questions themselves. To be clear, this complaint is entirely subjective and comes down to the type of people my group happens to be. But at best, the prompts were kind of cute, and at worst, they were honestly a little uncomfortable. Like, you'd have to play this game with a group of friends you're really comfortable talking about this sort of thing with. A small gripe I ran into on a personal level was that a lot of the time, nobody in the group, including the faker, could actually answer the prompt in a way the game really wanted us to, just due to the kind of people we are. What do I mean by that? Well, I would consider myself to be on the asexuality spectrum. Hence, a lot of these prompts are genuinely nothing burgers for me. And then every so often, there's like a few really random prompts that feel like they're in the wrong game completely due to how tame they are. Hell, speaking of that, this game feels ultra confused on how far it wants to take the raunchiness. Like, this pack, for some ungodly reason, has a profanity filter enabled by default. No, I don't know why. Especially given that the hosts of this game swear occasionally themselves. Or like, when someone is revealed to be the faker, they do this mildly charming bit where they have the character you play as stripped down naked, except for some reason they once again censored it. Like, I don't even care at all that they did censor it, but it feels just totally off to me that they do this. Isn't the main draw of this pack is the adults-only nature of it? Either don't go for it or commit to the bit. Don't do this annoying half and half thing. Anyways, back to All Night Long. Another problem I ran into this game is a common problem with modern Jackbox games. Games are so immensely long. Like, this game hits the 20-minute mark in my experience, and while that's not awful for a Jackbox game, I personally don't feel like this needed to be 20 minutes. Overall, Faking It All Night Long is fine. I think with the right group of people, this could be a genuinely lovely time. But for myself and my friends, this was really nothing terribly fun. Most of the group I played with really didn't care for this game at all, mostly due to the TMI nature of it, which is totally valid, but if this game sounds like your cup of tea, maybe consider checking it out. As for me personally, I am ranking this game at the number 30 slot on my Jackbox ranking, below the original Faking It, but above Fixie Text. Why? I know that's a really uninspired way to start a segment in a video, but really, why? Out of all Jackbox games to bring back for an adults-only version, why oh why would you choose Drawful? The game could be as raunchy as you want it to be without making an adults-only version. It's a drawing game. You can literally draw whatever you would like. But okay, fine, whatever. Let's look at the game itself. This is just Drawful, except it has worse prompts. All of the prompts are very raunchy, and while that may sound a tiny bit appealing, it just kills the comedy of the game. Like, if you drew something raunchy in regular Drawful, it's funny because you're subverting expectations and going out of your way to choose to have your drawing utilize sexual humor. In this game, the prompts are already raunchy. Everyone is already expecting sexual humor, so when everyone can expect dick jokes and other sexualized jokes, it loses a lot of the charm. The funniest moments in Dirty Drawful for me personally was when someone decided to not draw something terribly raunchy, and everyone else had to make raunchy guesses as to what the title of the drawing was. And I'm sorry, but it is so very hard to go into this game with fair expectations when I was already massively disappointed that they were wasting one of the 3 game slots of the pack on an adults-only Drawful. Like, out of all Jackbox games to get an adults-only sequel, why that one? Off the top of my head, games like Split the Room or Rumoring would have been much more fitting for this pack. Or hell, why not do a sequel to Monster Seeking Monster? The game would have been perfect to get a sequel in this pack. With the theme of that game being to try and score a date with another player, there was loads of potential to do something unique with an adults-only Monster Seeking Monster sequel. Or even then, why even have 2/3 of this pack be sequel games? Create something new from the ground up. I apologize for spending so little time talking about this game, but there's not much to say about this game. It's fine. I had a friend in my group who never played any Drawful game who said this was their favorite of the pack, but I'm pretty sure that was purely because this was their only Drawful experience, given they also complained about the annoyingly raunchy prompts. This is a technically fine enough game that is honestly just painfully annoying. Just stick to regular Drawful 1 or 2. I'm gonna put this game at the number 35 slot, above Time Jinx but below Fibbage XL. The final game of the pack is also the only original game of the pack, Let Me Finish. This is a presentation game where you and your friends have to grasp at straws to sexualize a random photo or object according to the prompt. Like, for example, the tamest prompt I can say out loud without getting potentially age restricted: which of these screwdrivers went to jail for financial crimes? The 2 people who are set to present for this game get to state their case as to which screwdriver of the bunch has gone to jail for financial crimes. Then players have to vote on which player made a stronger argument. Any of the other players can also jump in if they also want to state their case, if they have a good idea for one. But the first time my group played this, they didn't know that, which bogged down our first game of this significantly. I really feel as if instead of 2 players competing against each other, it should have just been a case where all the players take turns stating their case. Doesn't really matter though in the end, as this game is boring as hell. This game requires a lot of imagination to be fun, and honestly, it just wasn't very enjoyable. They barely give players any time to present and state their case. They give you the option to doodle to help make your points, but you get so little time it doesn't matter. The prompts aren't even mildly funny. They were at best uncomfortable and at worst stupid and incomprehensible. I don't even care for the presentation, it's just dumb. I think it's going for a like stoner-esque theme, maybe, but it just fails so painfully hard. There is, I guess, some fun to be had with this game, but good lord, not a whole lot. It's not by any means the worst Jackbox game I've played. It's better than Zeeple Dome, Quicksort, and Wheel of Enormous Proportions. those games were just flat out abysmal experiences I wish I never had. This is just a flat out bad game. I'm gonna put this at the number 43 slot, above Madverse City, but below Words Bud. Wow, that party pack sucked. Majorly. I won't lie and say I had no fun with this pack, but my lord, this is the worst Jackbox pack yet. 2/3 of the games on Showcase have been done better elsewhere, and the other game just flat out sucked. I will say though, in this game's defense, I think Faking It All Night Long may be onto something. I feel like that game may have a reason for existence, with how it could be a humorous game that can be something really cool with the right people. I just don't think I'm the right demographic for All Night Long to do anything for me. And worst of all, it's stuck in a crappy pack. If this pack goes on sale for like $5, or the game gets a standalone release, then maybe consider picking it up solely just for All Night Long if you're interested. But otherwise, this is a party to skip. This is the lowest rated party pack to date, with Steam showcasing a mostly negative ratings level. I really hope this isn't a sign of things to come. It feels like with the last few packs, Jackbox has been on a bit of a losing streak. And with the next party pack already being listed on Steam, the Jackbox Survey Scramble, I am left still remaining worried for the future of this series. That title and description for the pack are giving me very little hope for a fun time. I just hope that they can work on improving things for the series to come. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. I know it's cliche and annoying to hear, but it generally does help boost this video in the algorithm. Also, feel free to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or join my Discord server. With that all being said, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and hopefully, I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.